Once you are at this exact location, what you will find is a rather cool bananas for sale sign. This is actually a one-off sign on the map, believe it or not, and it features quite a cool, fancy looking banana. Now what you want to do is you want to hit the banana sign with your car, but you want to go quite fast, because I figured you have to go at least over 70 miles per hour for this to actually work. So I'm going to take a bit of a run up in my fancy new Lamborghini, and we're going to see what happens if we hit the sign. So we've now hit the sign, and as you will shortly see, we're gonna get a special one-off skill after hitting this banana in the form of the fruit salad skill. I don't know why they've added it. I mean, it's quite funny. Now, sadly, you don't get an achievement or anything like that, but I mean, it's still a cool feature, and it's kind of funny that they actually added it, and I'm hoping for more skills like that in Forza Horizon 4. Now, for this one, you don't have to go to any specific location. However, you have to change your character. So you want to go into the game menus and go to select character and choose this guy right here, because he's the only one who actually wears a watch. And you need a watch to find this little Easter egg. You want to preferably choose an open top car to actually take a look at the watch. But again, I'm going to work my magic and we're going to jump into our Lamborghini. You will not only find a PG, that stands for Playground Games, you will also find the current time. Now, I was thinking, is this actually like a watch that works? And I was looking at the game time, and it's not the same time. So this is always the same time on the watch, and I thought like, well, there has to be some sort of like hidden detail, some sort of reference. There's no way they just choose a random number for like something like that. There was no way. Now 1337 speak or leet speak is actually a language which people use on the internet involving numbers, letters and characters. 1337 actually comes from the word leet, and leet comes from the word elite, and it was used to like enter special forums and get access to special places on the internet. So I think that's definitely some sort of Easter egg or hidden reference pretty much in the game, made by the Forza Horizon 3 developers at Playground Games. Definitely one of my favorite Easter eggs in the game. Now for this little Easter egg, you don't need to go to any specific spot on the map. The only thing you need to do is you find a bin or a post box. Preferably those big green bins or those little like red post boxes. Those are the ones you want to find. And once you've found some of them, get a little run up and drive into them with your car. Now as soon as you hit those bins or post boxes, you want to stop the game and we want to jump into photo mode and take a closer look at the paper that just flew out of them. I was just playing the game, driving through the city, and you hit the bin and there's like paper, and you think like, whoa, that's a cool animation, and you carry on. However, if you take a really close look, you will actually find out that they are not blank. They are pictures of early screenshots of Forza Horizon 3. If you think about it, that's kind of a neat feature, and I think it's really cool that they actually did this, because again, why not add more Easter eggs? We all need more Easter eggs in our lives. So yeah, I think that's a really cool feature, and also one you probably haven't spotted before. Now once you travel to this exact location, what you want to look out for is the store at the end of the street, because it's a special store. Now once you're there, park up your car and take a closer look at it, because you will find that they have some Forza games and some Forza expansions. Now I think this is a really cool feature. I was actually really happy to find this, because you can quite easily spot Forza Horizon 2, the cover of Forza Horizon 2 with the Lamborghini Huracan, which I think is kind of funny. And I think there's also like a Forza Horizon 1 cover, because we can quite easily see the Dodge Viper, the cover car of Forza Horizon 1, and we can also see a Ferrari 458. It might have been a DLC or an expansion, I'm not sure. It's just a really cool, nice little Easter egg for everyone that takes a closer look at shops and what they've made in the game. So this is definitely one of my personal favorites. Now again, once you are at the exact location, what you want to do is you want to take your car, drive it up the hill on this like stone bridge. I found something really weird going on this stone bridge, because if you take a closer look at the edge, you will see that there are some weird textures. Now I wasn't sure if this was just a graphic error, something where the developers actually messed up, but you will find that there are letters. It almost looks like there are some words in the sand. Now one of the words clearly is bump, and another one is clearly step or P-bump. So there are words in the sand, but I couldn't figure out the meaning of them. I really tried hard. I tried to go into photo mode. I tried to add like contrast. I tried to make it more visible for you guys, but it just wasn't working. Now it looks too specific to be an actual mistake. So If you know what it means, if you like found out something interesting, make sure to message me on Twitter or Instagram. I haven't really found this until I was actually actively searching for Easter eggs in the game, so I think it's kind of cool. So we are now blasting towards this Easter egg in our rather fancy looking Lamborghini. And yeah, you want to look out for a store on the corner of the street. The true Easter egg is on top of the store in form of this advertisement board. Van Arstel. That's an oddly specific name for something. And I was like, there has to be some sort of connection to the real world. Like, there's no way you just came up with that. There was a retired economics and finance professor at the University of Illinois, and he was called Paul M. Van Arstel. I was trying to figure out if there's some sort of connection to Playground Games, if he worked at Playground Games, for example. Sadly not. I couldn't find any connection. But then again, if you guys know anything more about it, please let me know in the comments down below. Oh, and by the way, if you take a closer look at the other side of the store, there's another advertisement in the form of the Woodgroove Bank. Now, Woodgroove is actually, from what I've heard, some sort of shopping mall. Now, there isn't a Woodgroove Bank itself, but I think there's a bank in that shopping center. Now, in order to spot this little Easter egg, you actually have to own the Blizzard Mountain expansion in Forza Horizon 3. What you want to do is you want to get into any car, drive to any location you want, but you have to find one of those little snowmen. If you take a look at their face, they're always smiling, they're always happy. However, if you go for a little bit of a run-up, and if you drive into the snowman and stop right as you hit the snowman, the head actually comes off, which is a bit morbid. However, if you take a closer look at the head, the face just changed from happy to like sad. I'm a big fan of that one because it just shows that they go into detail when making this game. They really go into detail, and it's just a fun little thing to find out about Forza Horizon 3. Once you are in the canyons, there is a specific place you want to drive to in your car. And it has to be said, this is of course not an Easter egg. This is something that developers clearly added into the game for everyone to look at. However, I've been playing Forza Horizon 4 for almost 2 years now, and I legit haven't spotted this before. I actually stumbled across those guys. Those are, I think, 2 dingoes, 2 animals you can actually quite often find in Australia. Now, if you take a closer look at them, they are actually animated and they look quite cool in my opinion. There's quite some detail to them and they look quite realistic. So I thought I might as well add it to the video because if you want to take some cool pictures with your car and your dingoes, go ahead. I think it's a cool photo location and I think it's quite cool that they actually added so much different wildlife to the game. Big fan of that detail. This is where you want to go in your car, and once you're there, look out for a special shop. Now you might be thinking, well, that's just an ordinary shop, right? I mean, this shop exists, I think, a couple of times on the map, I think like 7 or 8 times, but this one, I figured, is kind of special actually, because if you get out of your car, jump into photo mode or drone mode, you can take a closer look at the shop, and they always have those glasses. There are always 4 different glasses. However, in this shop, there's actually a shelf with 5 of them, and as you can see, there are some Groucho glasses. Now, I hope I pronounced that correct. Those Groucho glasses are actually named after the US-American entertainer Groucho Marx, or Julius Henry Marx. So yeah, it's just a funny, like, little tiny detail on the map I thought I'd share with you guys, because you probably haven't seen it before, let's be honest here. We're all just blasting through the city as fast as we can, so you probably haven't taken such a close look at this particular shop before. Now, once you made it to the location, what you want to do is you want to jump into your car and drive up this little road towards this little hotel complex. Once you're there, take a closer look at the hotel itself, because you will find a single rusty TV satellite. It's just a fun little Easter egg, a fun little nod to a real-life company in the form of the Dish Network Corporation, a US television provider. This is just a very minor nod to a company, but I thought, you know, it's a cool feature and I might as well add it to a video. Now for this one, there are actually 2 different locations where you can find this little detail on the map. I'm gonna drive to the more northern one because there's actually a higher chance of finding that detail. Drive towards the waterfall in your car. You might want to grab a car that's more suited to off-roading than my Lamborghini, but once you are there, go into photo mode and take a look around, because there are actually 1 or 2 details you might have missed before. Now at first I thought they are quite common, but then I was taking a closer look at different places on the map and there are actually only 2 really small spots where you can find those birds. And they are not parrots, they are actually crimson rosellas, according to my research. It's a really small detail you can quite easily miss if you're just blasting past in your Ferrari, for example. And again, it's just another really cool photo opportunity, in my opinion. Now the location for this one is actually quite specific and quite well hidden. You can't actually access it in a normal game. Now what you will find there is not only some impressive jewelry, but also a picture of a woman. Now I was like, I've seen that woman before, and it actually turns out that only a few meters away there is actually another advertisement board with the same woman. So I went on to Google again, did my research. This right here is an advertisement board for a clothing store in Forza Horizon 3, and this company actually exists in real life. There is a website called Lotties and Mole, and right next to it there's actually another advertisement board for the DC Pizza Company. And I found out that the DC Pizza Company is actually a thing. The website is DC Pizza Online. Another little reference to a real life company. Now for this one, you don't have to travel to a specific location. All you have to do is pick one of the 3 cars and go to the upgrade shop. What you will actually find in the upgrade shop is a really cool body modification in the form of rhubars. Now this might look like something you'd use in a zombie apocalypse. However, it's actually something that some people use in Australia to avoid damage from wildlife when they're driving on highways. And again, I've never spotted this before when playing Forza Horizon 3 because those are not my types of cars pretty much, so I was never actually driving them. It looks kind of fun and it makes for some really cool pictures actually. Oh, and if you want to ram some people online or bully some tiny BMW Isettas, those cars are perfect. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like on it, subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this in the future, and until next time, bye.